I'm back from my trip to the desert and I'm feeling refreshed, and I came back just in time for the GoodReads Choice Awards to be announced. The top 20 nominees for every category. I have not looked at everything yet. I was scrolling this morning and I saw like one post, so I know one book that's in it. And that's when I like closed the app. I saw another that was like, I can't believe this was, and I said, nope, we're closing it. We're not looking at it. So there is something that someone can't believe. And I know one book that I predicted made it into the horror category. I really want to look at all of these categories. I'm going to try my best to screen record my laptop. I just downloaded an app to make it work. And hopefully, if all goes well, I will put myself in a tiny box and post-filming Tiff here to tell you that apparently that app requires a subscription to save a video longer than 2 minutes, which my test video wasn't 2 minutes. So I'm gonna have to get creative. Please bear with me. Show this in the big screen. What I'm going to do is start with the horror category because that's the ones I predicted. Let me pop my predictions up here for you to remember. I have starred the ones that I believe are going to be top 10, not important right now, because this is the top 20. So I'm going to be deciding what I'm voting for, and then I'm going to be messaging Kyla because we were talking about it last night, and I was like, I haven't looked yet. Don't say anything yet. I will look, and then I will message you, because I got home kind of late last night, and I spent the morning laying about because travel. So I'm really excited to look at these. But after I look at the horror, I want to look at the other categories, and I've pulled up Storygraph to look at every book that is a 2025 release tag that I have tagged it, to see if any of these books I think are going to be in the category. So before I open each category, I'll scroll through and I'll show you that, and I'll be like, I think this one, probably not this one, probably not this one, and then we'll just see if some of the books that I think are going to be in it are going to be in it. I have a few that I think are going to be in fantasy, but I haven't read them, and I have a few fantasy I read that I don't think are going to be in them. I've not read any of the sci-fi. I watched a couple videos on the sci-fi predictions, and sci-fi is not looking great this year, again, as per usual. So, all right, let's get this screen recording going, and we'll take a look. I have it pulled up. I am nervous. I don't know why I'm nervous, but I'm nervous. This is stupid. Like, it's just a silly game. Okay. So, 2025 Choice Awards nominees. I'm going to try and not look at anything that isn't horror. I already see Buffalo Hunter on the side over here. So, but I mean, that had to be in there. Okay. From the preview, I'm not looking at any of those. They're up on screen, but I'm really like zoning in on Grady Hendrix, Bewitching, and Rachel Harrison's Play Nice, which I did predict. Let me pop over. I did predict all three of those are actually going to be in the top. So, okay, let's see. Oh, I completely forgot about We Love You, Bunny. Okay, so if you remember, I said that some of these I wasn't sure were going to be in there, and some I thought would. So Buffalo Hunter, I did predict. I'm hoping this is the winner, but I don't think it will be. We Love You, Bunny. I did not see a lot of good reviews of this one from people who really loved Bunny, so I'm kind of surprised it's in there. The Possession of Alba Diaz, I definitely think that was in there. I believe I put that one top 10. Oh, I didn't have We Love You, Bunny. Let's look at my list again. Some of these I said, like The Resurrectionist, I don't actually think was in here. This was like a fingers crossed. I'm hoping it's in historical. And I wasn't sure about But Not Too Bold because it was kind of niche, but I was hoping. I haven't read it yet. And The End of the World as We Know It, I wasn't quite sure about it as well. So those were the ones I wasn't quite sure about. The top 10s are ones I definitely think will be in there. And the Chuck Wendig, I wasn't sure either because the reviews were kind of low. Okay, so Never Flinch, I definitely thought would be in there. I think this will be top 10. Rachel Harrison's Play Nice, I think will be top 10. Breathe In, Bleed Out. I hadn't even heard of this one. 3.82 rating and 3,076 ratings. Instant USA Today bestseller. Has a Stephen Graham Jones blurb. I've literally never heard of this one. It's got that kind of like classic horror cover. Chuck Tingle's Lucky Day is the one I was spoiled on because I follow Chuck on Threads, and that came up and I was like, well, yeah, we all knew it was going to be in there. Bat Eater and Other Names for Corazang. I'm very happy to see this in here. I definitely thought it would be. The Bewitching, I thought would be in here. I think this will also be top 10. The Lamb by Lucy Rose, I knew would be in here. What Hunger is one. I remember seeing this cover, and I guess early in the year it was kind of popular, but I think I forgot about it from like a recency bias. When the Wolf Comes Home from Nat Cassidy, I did think would be in there. How Bad Can Things Get by Darcy Coates. Is this the one? Oh, I thought the only Darcy Coates coming out was a number in a series. So I think that's where I got confused. I didn't realize that Darcy Coates had another book out. This does have 4,000 ratings. Yeah, okay, so I just didn't know Darcy Coates had a standalone out this year, which otherwise I would have assumed that would be in here. Darcy Coates seems to be in every year. Oh, crap. Now we screwed around my order by doing that. Okay, we've got, what have I not covered? Coffin Moon by Keith Rawson. Rawson? I didn't even know this came out. From the author of the exciting, suspenseful, horrifying Stephen King Fever House, a Vietnam veteran and his adopted niece are hunted by the vampire that slaughtered their family. Interesting. Hungerstone by Kat Dunn, I did think would be here. Blood on Her Tongue by Johanna Van Veen, I definitely thought would be in here. You Weren't Meant to Be Human, I forgot about until after I made my video, and then I went, oh my gosh, of course that one's going to be in here. Because Andrew Joseph White normally writes YA books, and so I thought his books would be in the YA category. I didn't think about them being here because I forgot that he wrote an adult novel this year. And I haven't read it yet, and a lot of people say it's really gross. It does have a very high rating compared to some of the other ones with the 4,000 rating range. Immaculate Conception I thought would be here. Buffalo Hunter Hunter, we already talked about that one. The Haunting of Payne's Hollow by Kelly Armstrong. Okay, so if I want to try and read these, to be fair, I don't think some of these will be in the top 10. Let's see if all my top 10s are here. Oh, the T. Kingfisher isn't here. That's kind of surprising. This is like the first year in a while there's no T. Kingfisher. Ooh, I don't know how I feel about that. Interesting. Okay, so that one I was wrong on. So let's put a little X thing on my category thing here. The Resurrectionist, not here, which to be fair, that was me crossing my fingers. The S.A. Barnes is not here. The End of the World as We Know It. The Chuck Wendig, surprisingly not here. But Not Too Bold is not surprising that it's not here. The Unworthy, kind of surprised. But I think, like I said, people weren't really liking this one. And the What Stalks the Deep is not here. Okay, so the next round of voting is like 3 weeks away. So it's actually 12 days away. I was wrong. I don't think I can get these, but if I can get, so if I wanted to read these, my top 10 is there except for, okay, let me walk it back because I'm shocked that T. Kingfisher's not here. Okay, so the top 10. The Bewitching and Witchcraft for Wayward Girls, I had. Never Flinch and The Possession of Alba Diaz, I had. When the Wolf Comes Home, I had in my top 10, and Hungerstone is in my top 10, I believe. No, Hungerstone is not in my top 10. The Rachel Harrison is here. Oh, I need one more for top 10. Based on what is in here, it's either going to be We Love You Bunny only has, see, it's a 3.6, which is why I didn't think it would be here. Part of that, like, it hasn't really done well. 5,000 ratings, 4,000 ratings, and a 3.83. Maybe The Cat Dunn. The Cat Dunn is my new top 10. So we're gonna put that. I genuinely think, based on the number of ratings, we're gonna put that as either that or it's Lucky Day. But Lucky Day, as much as I really liked it, does not have as much ratings. So okay, let me put a little like check by the ones I've read. I haven't read a lot of them, but let's just take a look at that real quick. Because do I want to read my top 10 guesses? Kind of. So this is all I've read from these. I have Buffalo Hunter Hunter up as one I want to read coming up soon. I did read this one, but it's not in here. So that's kind of surprising. Okay, so I'm not going to read Never Flinch. I'm not going to read it. And I think it will be top 10 because it is a Stephen King. Am I still happy with my top 10s? I feel like I should add the other books in here, but I don't want to right now. Okay, so I was wrong on 6 books. I was wrong on 6 books. Don't ask me why I'm holding my coffee like this. It's comforting. Also, don't ask me why I'm having coffee at 1:30 in the afternoon. Okay. The Possession of Alba Diaz looks really good. I almost bought it yesterday when we were leaving the desert. Buffalo Hunter Hunter I want to read. Blood on Her Tongue I want to read. Bat Eater I've read. When the Wolf Comes Home I do kind of want to read it, and Hungerstone. And the Rachel Harrison. Okay, so if I can get my hands on these, maybe. We'll see. I don't know. I don't know if I can read them that fast. And they're going to be so busy at the library with me having to buy them. Okay, I'm probably not going to. But based on this, I still think the Grady Hendrix is going to win. It's either going to be Grady Hendrix or it's going to be Stephen Graham Jones. The horror category has been, in the last 3 years, I think, some of the most diverse as far as having a balance of like authors with different identifications. And I think this is a pretty good one this year too. Identities, not identifications, identities, and characters with different identities too. So I think this looks like a pretty good one this year. Just like all the other ones, there's a couple sapphic books. There's some books. There's a book by a trans author. There's some Latinx, and Bat Eater is Chinese, and then also Mexican. And Liling Wang, I don't remember Liling Wang's name. Okay, so yeah, we have some diverse things too. A lot of sapphic stuff. So that's the Goodreads Choice Awards for the top 20s. I'm gonna go get some food because all I've had today is some cream cheese and crackers, and I'm gonna edit this and I'm gonna go pick up my dog and do my grocery shopping. And I'll see you soon. I believe the next vote is, I think I said it's like the end, it's like the beginning of December. So I think it's like 2 to 3 weeks from now. So we'll see if I can read any of these in the meantime. If I can get access to them, at least Buffalo Hunter Hunter. I think I can probably get that read, and maybe Plain Ice. I believe I have that on hold. So we'll see which ones come through. I might be able to get What Hunger. We'll see what I can get. I'll be surprised if We Love You Bunny ends up in the top 10, but it possibly could. But just to remind you, here's my predictions. The stars being the top 10, and what I got wrong. So, let me know how you did on these, or if you have any thoughts about them, and I'll see you soon. Something else.